new year, the first after two COVID hit years. We look at how the December festive season has looked so far for restaurants and bars and what's in store for the 31st. AD Singh, promoter and managing director at Olive Bar and Kitchen, and Gauri Devidayal, the co-founder at Food Matters Group, joins us now to discuss that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Happy New Year to both of you in advance. Mr. Singh, I want to start with you because, you know, it has really been, it's like revenge partying going on, especially in some of the metros, right? Everything is booked out, hotels, restaurants, flights, you name it. But is this just the pent-up demand of 2 years? And what do you see as the big trends of the new year?
There are two trends this year that surprised us. One is that, it was financially very difficult for all of us. And yet, I think what happened is that people decided not to focus on a future that was looking very troubled and distant, and instead to spend more on themselves and their families, spend more time out with their friends and their loved ones today. So therefore, their spend at the restaurants and bars actually gone up pre-COVID, which is very encouraging for an industry that's been down on its knees. The second trend that surprised us was that for 2 years, people were locked up at home pretty much. They didn't get to travel overseas, which is when they get exposed, they see new things, they want more. And yet, though they were largely homebound for these 2 years, whenever the lockdown would ease and people would be back going out, their appetite had increased, their curiosity had increased. What they were looking for was better, more international. And so that's very encouraging for us restaurateurs because we can create new experiences, better experiences, which is what takes the industry forward. These were the two of the strong trends that we saw in this year.
Right. Thanks a lot for joining in, AD and Gauri. Gauri, let me come to you. Yes, it is great to see that all the tables, etc., are full on the New Year's Eve. There is a lot of revenue expectations, etc. But, that one event aside, how do you think, all of December has inflation slowly started to hurt people and them eating out?
I think, of course, it has. It's not just December. It's been there the entire year. It's definitely had an impact on our industry. But I think, like AD said, people are, in a mood for celebration. They're in a mood to live life. And, travel is back. As much as people are traveling abroad, they're also coming back to India. Last year we had Omicron at this time. So this year, I think people are just out to enjoy and make the most of life. And of course, inflation's hurting everybody, but we are seeing people coming out.
Guys, I'm really disappointed. When you guys started the conversation, I thought you were going to ask them about what is the best new cocktail, mocktail, best new drink, what is the best cuisine. I mean, this is end of the last trading session and how's
that
business
will only make us feel bad because they'll tell you that, this is the best new cocktail, this is the best new drink, and then they'll only tell us that we have no tables for you, and you guys can't obviously have those cocktails. And
you do know that Mangalam and me are teetotalers, right?
Yeah.
We don't drink. So I think that's a question best place for you to ask them.
Okay, go for it, Prashant.
Mr. Singh, so I don't know, if you want to take that up, but how is 2023 looking? As you look ahead, are you looking at it with a lot of optimism, or you think we are at a, it was a very unusual last 2.5 years, right? Because of COVID and what is done to people, the need to get out, the need to splurge, spend. There was a neat term coined for it, revenge spending, revenge travel, or whatever. Have you seen the peak of that, or do you see that continuing? This trend continuing?
So, Prashant, as you know, with this COVID and what's happened, nobody had any idea what was going on. We're, of course, hopeful because it was such a bad 2 years that people will continue to come out in large numbers. People will spend more today than they used to on themselves in the past. If you look around Asia, leave the world, the habits of people in terms of going out and having meals out is much more than in India. And we are seeing the trends growing, and we hope that that'll continue. However, as you all know even better than me, there are a couple of strong worry factors. One is COVID coming back? Have we built up enough herd immunity and vaccinations to be able to handle it like we did Omicron, or would it be worse than that? So that's a big worry for 23. And the other is sort of the war talk around the world. The Russian war is not getting over. There seems to be a lot of posturing by other countries as well. And obviously all of that impacts the economy and impacts us in the end. So there's a lot of positivity and there's a bit of worry coming into 23.
And that, because I remember you had, spoken about this way back in 2021 as well, Mr. Singh, where you said that because of the after effects of COVID, 50% of the restaurant industry may find it difficult to reopen. A lot of businesses would shut down as well. And you've seen many of your own businesses struggling to sort of resurface because of COVID. But how is the industry managing now? What about profitability? Is it back, not just for yourself, but for the industry as a whole?
So yes, as an industry, we were very worried how many would survive. Right now, our best guess is that about 15 to 20% of restaurants, unfortunately, had to close. That's horrible for any industry. But for those who survived, like the Olive Group did, it's resulted in extra business and helped us to get over the losses and the debts that had piled up during the lockdowns. In terms of profitability, what happened was that many of the staff at all our restaurants and bars who went home, had a very difficult time, didn't get any support. As a result, either migrated and left the industry entirely, or stayed back at home, worked in the farms with their families, started some small businesses. So this year has been very difficult to get the teams that all of us need to do the service that we need to, prepare the food that we need to. But on the other hand, because of that, our HR costs have been very tight. And so profitability has actually been very good post both the lockdowns for those that have survived.
Edi, thank you for brightening our mornings up with that wonderful fedora that you're sporting right now. Rarely do we see people, dressed like that on a business channel, but it's the last day of the year. Gauri, let's now cut to the chase. Now we know that a lot of people are eating out, inflation is a worry, etc. Restaurants have shut, but now they'll manage on it. And all of that is a conversation we'll have maybe pre-budget and all of that. For the 31st, what is it that you guys are doing special? I mean, what can we expect?
Just lots of amazing food, great wine, great cocktails, and just lots of, I think, revelry. I think people are, in the mood to just enjoy, like Edi said, and you'll see lots of restaurants, bars, all full to the brim, not just Bombay, all across the country. I'm pretty sure of that.
So what are the top 2 places to be in Mumbai tomorrow evening?
Olive and the table.
Okay, I'm going to be at one of them for sure. Olive or the table, right?
We need to know whether they have the tables. You guys are running full tomorrow, or will you all manage to eke out?
Anything for you guys, yeah? I mean, come on.
There's always a table for you.
Show up.
Oh, thank you. But have you made it a lot more expensive this time around as well? I mean, because you're talking about the best food, the best wines, the best whatnots, but all of that comes at a serious price, and they're already hiked on the 31st. How much higher are they this year as compared to last year?
That's for me to know and you to find out when you come to dine. No,
Okay.
of course, like you talked about inflation, it is something that we all have to factor in, but hopefully everyone will leave happy at the end of the meal.
Absolutely, and this has been a good year because we've come out of such a bad year, right? So Happy New Year to both of you, and hope we get a table at the table. Gauri, thanks for joining us. Mr. Singh, thanks to you as well. We will move on now to the big story this morning, the other big story this morning, which is India.